Welcome back to another episode of the Minot Sports Podcast. Now on to episode 3 of Getting to Know Coaches in Minot State Athletics. As always, we are brought to you by KMSU TV Radio. You can find the podcast and the KMSU brand on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channels for all the latest content from MSU Broadcasting. We have our first assistant coach of the series. Joining us today from MSU Women's Basketball is Ryan Clark. First off, thank you for being on the podcast today. How's everything going for you lately in both the basketball world and just life in general?
Yeah, firstly, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and things are going well for us. We're really excited with the group we've got this year, and just to be able to be on the floor and working out with them, it's exciting times for us. And so basketball-wise, it's going good, and it's just fun. I'm just grateful to be on the court, have the opportunity to practice and get up and down with watch the girls play, and then personally can't really complain. I'm staying healthy and all those types of things, so I'm doing well.
Yeah, it's a challenge because you never know what can happen. Things can be taken away quickly. But just tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe something the fans don't know about you.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Australia. I'm from the south coast of Australia, a city called Adelaide. I came over to America in 2014. I started out at Lake Regent State in Devils Lake, North Dakota. So spent 2 years there before going to Dickinson State, where I spent another 2 years playing, and then got into the coaching side at Dickinson after I graduated, and spent a year there as an assistant before coming up to here to Minot last year, where I was a graduate assistant and got promoted to the assistant role this year.
Good stuff on the resume. So how is it working with Coach Graupe and coaching the girls every day?
It's great. I've really enjoyed working with Coach Graupe. I actually met him during my time at Dickinson as a player. He was the women's basketball coach there, so I got to see him there, and he had a very successful program. And so now just coming here and getting to learn from him, he's got a lot of basketball experience. He's coached at all levels from Division I to Division II to NIAA to junior college as well. So he's got a ton of experience, and it's just fun to learn from him each day. And then, coaching the girls, we had a great group of girls, and it's just exciting times for us. Last year we didn't have a great year, but we're really excited with the group we got this year and the players we've brought in. It's just exciting times right now in the women's basketball program.
We'll get more on the players here in a little bit, but just talk a little bit more on the experience in Devils Lake and Dickinson. How have they helped you out to get to the point where you're at today?
Definitely. Well, starting off my experience in Devils Lake. So when I first came to North Dakota, I didn't know a thing about North Dakota. Coming from Australia, I'm used to the warm weather, living next to the beaches and stuff like that. And so firstly coming over to Devils Lake, North Dakota, it was a bit of a culture shock, especially once that snow started coming down. But I love my time in Devils Lake, and I love my time in Dickinson. I met some awesome people there, and going to a junior college and getting the opportunity to play right away was big for me in my basketball career. It gave me the opportunity to see the floor, and I think it helped me a lot in my career. And throughout my time, being at a junior college and going to Dickinson, I got to also experience a number of different coaches as well, and see their perspectives on basketball as well, and gain a lot of knowledge from there. So all that, helped me to get to where I am today.
What part of Minot stands out to you compared to the other places that you've been at, like you said?
Definitely. All three cities have been great, and the people in all three cities have been awesome and very supportive of all the universities there. But coming to Minot, I really like the university as a whole. It's a very tight knit group. Over there in the athletics department, very supportive, and everyone here wants to see you do great. Whether it's on the academic side, whether it's the athletic side, everyone wants to see you do great here on this campus, from President Shirley all the way down. So it's been an awesome experience. To come here and have such great support throughout the university.
How did you get into basketball and into the Minot State Athletics Department? And how did you end up here with the specialty like that in the sport?
Yep. So first I got into basketball. I just sort of played every sport as a kid, and I'm 6'7" now, and so I was thankful enough to grow a little bit, and so basketball was one of the sports that kind of I started to excel in a little bit as a younger kid, and just sort of followed it, and obviously got the opportunity to come over and play college basketball, and it's just an experience that I couldn't turn down. And getting into the career of basketball, I just love the relationship sides of athletics. It's obviously I love basketball. I'm very competitive. I want to win all the time at anything I do. But the relationship side for me in athletics and team sports is just awesome. I've got friends from my junior college days that I still talk to. Same with my days at Dickinson, and obviously with this group of ladies here that we have here, they're all great human beings, and it's just fun to be around.
Tell us about some of your achievements as a player.
Yep. So at Dickinson State, my first year there, we actually won the conference at regular season, which was an awesome experience for us there. And then at Devils Lake or Lake Region State, sorry, I was actually their all-time leading rebounder during my career there. So I was fortunate enough to start a lot of games and play a lot of games during my 2 times there, and had some good team success at Dickinson, and I'm just excited to start building some team success here in the coming years.
So moving on to today, what's it like being at the university now and being able to coach in an environment like the Dome?
Oh, the Dome is unbelievable. I think every person when they first walk in the Dome, into the Dome, their jaw drops. It's just a unreal place, and to call it work, and be able to go in every day is unreal, and it is awesome feeling. When we get the opportunity to play in there, the big boards going as well, the stands are out. It's a beautiful place, and easily one of the best facilities in all of Division 2 in the nation. So we're very fortunate and blessed to work in there, and like I said, it makes your job a lot more funner when you get to go into there every day.
First class facility indeed. And when you first heard of Minot the first time, did you ever think that you would end up here?
Yes and no. I mean, it's kind of one of those things you don't even really know. Actually, when I was out of Lake Region, I was actually talking to Coach Merkin a little bit. He was recruiting me out of junior college, so there was a chance I was going to play here, but then just due to some NCAA things with my eligibility, that didn't turn out, and obviously went to Dickinson State. But I got the chance to play here when I was at Dickinson State. We played against Minot State, and always coming into the Dome and playing here was always one of the highlights of our season. It was just an unreal, like I said, atmosphere and place to play in. So like I said, I'm very fortunate and blessed to now have the opportunity to coach here. And if you told me 7 years ago that when I first got to America, that I'd still be in North Dakota, I probably would have said no way. But I'm definitely glad I am now, because like I said, the people out here are truly awesome, and the universities I've been at, especially Minot, are just awesome as well. So
yeah, we're certainly happy that you're here, and there's those in-state games, it's easier to build connections. You never know what could happen in the future. Mm-hmm. As a coach, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment in your resume?
Right now, obviously, it's early in my career, going into kind of my 3rd year of coaching. But right now, I'd say this past year, I was heavily involved in the recruiting side of it. It was my real first year of being involved in that side. So, and like I said, getting some recruits in here this past year that from back home and other parts of North Dakota and around the country has been a big achievement. And I think, like I said, the group we brought in this year is going to be fun to watch and exciting to watch, and hopefully we can do some great things this year.
I'm hearing good things about the recruits. We'll touch on that right now. How have you and the rest of the team adjusted to the COVID era, and how much more of a challenge was it trying to pull in the incoming recruits?
Definitely. I mean, there's a challenge, with COVID for, everyone, not just athletics, it's from all parts. There's many challenges, but, we're just grateful that we get the opportunity to get on the court, Monday through Friday, and, keep improving and keep building towards, season, hopefully starting next semester. So, we've just been grateful, and every time, you get on the court, it's, you don't take it for granted no more. You're willing to go out there and, give it your all now, because, you never know what could happen down the line. And I don't think any of us ever predicted what COVID would have been and how it would have affected so many people. So, just getting on the court is truly a blessing. And like I said, all our girls are getting anxious to play, because obviously, we're practicing right now. So they're getting more anxious to have the opportunity to play. But, we're just going to keep building each day and getting better and better. So,
yeah, and talk about the team a little bit and the outlook right now in this time.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit about the team. I guess, we've obviously got 17 players on the team, 9 of which are new for this year. And so we obviously got a lot of new people coming into Minot and sort of learning the area, learning the university. So they're trying to settle themselves in that way. But, right now, just getting on the court, we're still trying to get used to each other, because there's so many new bodies out there right now. So, just getting a feel for how everyone likes to play, and they're getting used to each other. And, we're trying to incorporate a up fast tempo style of play. So, right now we're just all getting a feel for each other as players, getting feels for us coaches are getting a feel for all of them as well. And, like I said, the goal is just to get better each day, and hopefully we're achieving that right now.
Yeah, and the local players, they have a familiarity with the city, and I think it's crucial that you get all the new people to Minot coming in and getting them used to the town. I think that's really critical. And
definitely.
The team did, in fact, target a lot of local recruits and transfers this past recruiting season. Was that kind of the plan? Was that mostly looking at inside the state. Talk about that for a little bit.
Definitely. I mean, we're proud to be located here in North Dakota, and there's a lot of talent out here, and that was a goal to try to keep as many talented players here home, and getting Amber Stefan out of Bismarck State, who obviously had a tremendous career there, and Sydney Anderson as well, and getting Kennedy Harris back from Northern State, getting these local girls that are from this area to stay here. It's just firstly awesome because not so many people around the area do know them, and they're going to want to come out and watch and see how they do. So that was a big thing. You sort of protect the homegrown state kids and keep them here. And then myself obviously being from Australia, I was fortunate enough to have a bit of a pipeline down there and know a few people. So to bring in a couple more Australians to our roster as well, makes us quite a little diverse group. And like I said, we're just super excited and super happy with the group we have.
Yeah, and it also helps the family too, the local family as well. And you mentioned the foreign connections. How cool is it to see the team building on all that bonding together with the different experiences?
Definitely. I mean, it's really cool. And talking from my personal experience, having 4 Australian girls here is awesome for me. It reminds me a little bit of home. The lingo, the slang that we have, or just talking about things that are happening back home is cool as well. But it's a cool experience for our Australian girls to be able to come over here and experience a different way of life and a little bit different culture. But it's also cool for our North Dakota girls, our Minnesota girls, our Wyoming girls, all the girls that we have on a team to be able to be teammates with these Australians and get to know them and their life experience, and they kind of get the experience, whether it's going just practicing with an Australian or going to class with an Australian, all those types of things. They get a bit of Australian culture while they're here as well.
I believe Bethany Theodore is under that role, and also you guys had Mariah Payne last year. Mm-hmm. Did that have kind of a play in some of the foreign recruits coming in?
Definitely helps. It's definitely a comfort thing when you go so far away from home. That's part of the decision-making process. Maybe you're looking at, location, maybe you're looking at other things, but, definitely the comfort of, knowing that there's been other Australians here. And, prior to Mariah Payne and prior to Bethany, there was Carly Bogue and the Bogue sisters that were here. So we've been very fortunate to have a number of talented Australians to, come through the program, both on the women's side and the men's side, actually. But it definitely does help. We've also had, Lucy Chapman coming back as well. And, for Kate Head and Natasha Elliott, who are 2 new Australians this year, they definitely did say it was comforting knowing there was other Australians here and they were able to, talk to them a little bit before getting here and ask them questions, about, what's life like out there, what are some things I need to, prepare for, all those things. So I definitely think it helps in getting more Australians here.
Yeah, talk more on that Australian success, not just for the women's side, but for the men's team too, with Max Cody and Kobe Jackson, touch on that a little bit.
Definitely. Minot's had great success with the Australians. Obviously, like you said, on the men's side, Max Cody's had a tremendous career here, and I'm excited to hopefully watch him this senior year have another great year as well. And Kobe Jackson had a fantastic freshman year, and I'm looking forward to watching both of them continue to build off their success. On the women's side, like I said, the Bogue sisters that we had here both had tremendous careers, and most recently Mariah Payne, who was a 1,000-point scorer here, and was really good over 4 years or 5 years that she was here, but 4 years of playing. She had a tremendous career, and same thing with Bethany. She came in and had great success, and now we're looking forward to watching that next sort of group of Australians come in and have success as well. In Lucy, Natasha, and Kate.
Yeah, hoping for a bright future for sure on that. And for you, what would you say, or who would you say is your role model that has helped to turn you into the person and coach you are today?
Definitely. I mean, Coach Graupe's played a big part of it because I've obviously known him now for a while from my Dickinson State days as just being a player there. I used to maybe go in his office and chat to him and see him on the bus, pick his brain a little bit. And then obviously coming here, I've learned so much from him during my time as well. And I'm a sponge and I just want to keep on learning. And like I said, he's been around basketball for so long. It'd be stupid of me not to listen to him and to learn from him every day. Josh Vaughn, who was my coach at Dickinson State, he's another one that I lean on a lot and reach out to and ask questions. And, like I said, right now I'm open to all ears, and I just want to continue to learn and continue to get better as well.
What are some coaching techniques or traits that you like to implement that maybe other MSU coaches don't?
My biggest thing for me is relationships and building trust with the players. I feel like if I can build trust with them, they know when I'm saying stuff, it comes out of a good place, and they know that I care for them. And obviously sometimes as a coach, you got to get on players, and it's not always the most fun part of the job, but it's all out of love and it's all out of caring. And so my big thing is just building trust with the players and making sure they know that I care for them and that I'm here for them and that I want the best for them.
I've heard a lot from the athletes and staff talking about how good it is to get back into all the practicing in MSU sports out of shutdown mode due to COVID, and that had to have felt good, like it was Christmas morning, not just for you guys, but all the athletes and teams and all of athletics. Talk about that process when it was closed and leading up to the opening of practices again.
Definitely, it was rather sad in the spring when obviously all the athletes had to go home and we didn't get to have spring workouts and. Just seeing the dome empty. The dome needs to be filled with people in it. That's when the dome's at its best. So, that springtime and, early summer when we weren't able to, obviously, it's not great. But then now having the opportunity to be back out there, I'm very thankful for, obviously, President Shirley, Andy Carter, all those people that have, put a lot of effort in and game planning into making sure our athletes are safe while we get on the court as well. And it's awesome to be back for both us and the athletes. It's just... like I said, we don't take it for granted no more. Every chance we get on the court, it's a blessing, and we're just happy to be out there right now. So,
yep, very fortunate right now, and hopes that there will be games in the near future.
Yes.
Moving on to the NBA a little bit, I don't want to guess the wrong idea, but I believe there's an NBA team out there that you're rooting for, and if they're currently in the NBA Finals, what's your take on that? And also, what do you think of the NBA bubble and the success on it?
Hey man, it's been awesome. I mean, once professional sports stopped down for a while, I don't watch much on TV besides professional sports. So for me right now, having an NBA bubble and NFL going on and baseball going on, I'm in heaven right now. But it's been cool to see the bubble work and see that happen. I'm a big San Antonio Spurs fan, so I'm actually upset that we didn't get to we didn't make the playoffs this year. It's been a while, but at the same time, I'm rooting for Miami Heat's kind of been my team since the playoffs have been going. I've been going for them. I love the way Jimmy Butler and their team goes about it, but at the same time, it would also be cool to see LeBron win another ring as well. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that series plays out. Both teams are just on a roll lately, and what would your advice be? We're just about done here. What would your advice be for young coaches and or players trying to move up in the ranks?
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely just as many connections. Talk to as many coaches as possible. Don't take, for athletes right now that are playing, don't take your current coaches for granted either. Or any coach on the coaching staff. When I was at Dickinson State, I made sure to try to build a relationship with Coach Graupe where he knew me. And that led to me getting a job down the line because once I was done at Dickinson, I reached out to him about the GA opening and, I was fortunate enough to get a position. So, build connections with other coaches. Don't be afraid to, reach out to coaches as well, and then just learn as much as possible. Never think you know more than others. You can always learn. You can always continue to grow and get better and, just continue to learn each day. There's tons of great coaches out there that have gone through probably similar experiences that you're going through or going to go through. So, definitely just, build as many connections, relationships, and never be afraid to ask questions.
The wise words from Coach Ryan Clark. Here's a big question for this day and age. If you could quarantine with anyone, so maybe like a famous coach, athlete, or celebrity, who would it be and why would you pick them?
Okay, I'm going to answer in two ways. I'm going to go answer firstly if I had to pick someone here from Minot State. And it would be two people at Minot State I would pick. The first guy is Sean Griffin. And everyone in the athletic department knows Sean Griffin fixes everything. He's kind of the problem solver. So if I had to quarantine with somebody, I'd want to be with him because he would probably solve all my problems throughout quarantine. And
thank you, Sean.
Yep. And then if not him, Joel Wallace, who's the men's GA, he's my guy. So it'd be cool to quarantine with him. But if I had to go celebrity, I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. I think he's the world's best football player right now, in my opinion. So it'd be cool to quarantine with him. And he's got a good setup at his house. He's got the football field out there. So at least we'll be able to, exercise all those types of things as well. So
I'm a Broncos fan, but Russell Wilson is certainly on my MVP watch right now. So he's definitely on fire so far. But Coach Ryan, we can't thank you enough for being on here. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the fans or mention?
Firstly, thank you for having me. It's been, I really appreciate it. And I guess just to everyone out there listening, just know that the women's basketball teams right now, we're grinding away and focusing on getting better every day. And we're so excited to, hopefully we have some games here soon and have you guys come out and watch us. And we're going to be an exciting, fun group to watch. So, we look forward to seeing you all there, and go Beavers.
Where can people find you and the team on social media?
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter. I'm on those as well, Facebook as well. If you actually go to our Instagram or Twitter page today, you'll see a TikTok video that us coaches put up of ourselves as well. So if you want a good laugh, go to the Minot State Women's Basketball Twitter page or Instagram page, and you'll see me and the other coaches doing some silly dances. But definitely follow us on there. We try to put as much stuff out there to keep you guys updated and informed on what's happening in the program.
Definitely some good fun and entertainment there. I saw that earlier. I thought it was pretty cool. But we'll also have the accounts posted on the podcast previews when we get to it. But big thanks once again goes out to assistant coach Ryan Clark of MSU Women's Basketball. That was episode 3 of the MSU Coaches Series. Thank you guys for tuning in. Follow us on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the Minot Sports Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. You can have the same thing be said for KMSU TV and radio. But once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you in the next one.